This was a banned episode of Betty Boop.
This episode came out in 1934 and it was called Ha Ha Ha.
In the episode, Betty discovers that her creepy clown friend named Coco has a bad toothache.
And instead of taking Coco to a certified dentist to help his problem, Betty Boop thinks that she is more suited for the job.
So in one scene, Betty takes some pliers and continuously yanks on Coco's tooth with zero success.
So Coco is like screaming in pain because obviously it hurts. So Betty decides that she should give him some laughing gas.
Well, she ends up using way too much on him, which causes the gas to spill out into the entire town.
And this causes inanimate objects like cars, clocks, light posts to laugh uncontrollably as well. And this episode was ultimately banned for drug use, as it says. Parents didn't want their kids watching this episode and getting ideas. More banned episodes over on my YouTube channel.
What the hell? What is that, Mom?
What?
Ma, you see this?
Toast to the ones that we lost on the way, cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back.
So you know those alien documents that the FBI was supposed to take 180 days to release? Well, they didn't take 180 days. Let's take a look. CIA releases UFO Black Vault documents early, how to see them online. The documents are published on the Black Vault website. Link to the Black Vault website in the comments. Enjoy digging.
The photo behind me looks pretty normal, right? This is a photo that was taken of Jackie Kennedy only hours after JFK, her husband, was assassinated. However, there are some conspiracies behind this photo. Seen here is at the time Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson, as he's about to be sworn in after the president was assassinated. He is seen looking at a CIA agent who is winking at him. Not to mention the agent has a smile on his face.
Weird things I found in the house I inherited, part 3. Spooky Witch Talk edition. A skull with marbles for eyes. I'm naming him Frank the Bank. More rocks. They're in there. I promise. See? More rocks. Not one. Not 2. Okay, I can't find the other one right now, but 3 crystal balls. You couldn't guess this part, but more rocks. Wahahaha. So many rocks. A copy of Drawing Down the Moon by Margot Adler. Getting legit here. And the piece de resistance, astrological charts of when my aunt and uncle were supposed to and when they did get married. It's pretty dang spot on.
People aren't believing what's happening in this house. I've left this all night and all I've heard is it rattling inside. Now, I want you to witness what I'm going through here because maybe if you just see for yourself, innit? This is what I'm dealing with.
In 1971, 5 hippies set out to Stonehenge. They pitched tents in the centre of Stonehenge and started a campfire. On this gloomy August day, a thunderstorm struck. There were 2 witnesses who noticed from afar Stonehenge, a policeman and a farmer. They saw a large strike of thunder strike Stonehenge. This eerie blue light absorbed the whole Stonehenge. The light was so intense the farmer and the policeman covered their eyes. All of a sudden they heard horrific screaming from the campers. So they ran to the stones expecting to find badly injured campers or even dead campers. As they ran into Stonehenge, they found no one. All that was left was the tents and the campfire. So where did they go? Most people say UFOs, but no one truly knows. Me and my friends even tried to discover the truth. Let me know if you want to hear that story.
The World's Most Cursed Items, Part 3. You may have come across this image before. The painting is known as The Anguished Man. A man named Sean Robinson inherited this from his grandmother. Not long after, he began to experience paranormal activity. Objects moving on their own, doors slamming shut, and even blood-curdling screams coming from nowhere. Supposedly, the artist mixed his own blood with the paint, right before taking his own life. After learning this, he decided to hide the painting down in his basement. Good call.
Let's talk about dollhouse graves, because there's more than one. This is the gravesite of Dorothy Marie Harvey, who was only 5 years old when she passed away. Her grave is located at Hope Hill Cemetery in Medina, Tennessee. Legend goes that sometimes when you look inside of the windows, you can see her looking back at you. This is the dollhouse grave of Vivian May Allison, who passed away in 1899. It's located in Connorsville City Cemetery in Connorsville, Indiana. Unfortunately, it became subject to vandalism. The city was able to restore it, and this is how it sits today. And then there's the dollhouse grave of little Nadine that passed away in 1933. She had asked for a dollhouse for Christmas that year, but passed away before she was ever able to get it. Her father was so distraught that he had her buried in it, and it's full of all of her favorite toys. If you visit the cemetery in Lynette, Alabama, you will also see that when her parents passed away, they were buried outside of it.
Morbid Facts, Part 125. This is a photo of a rubber worker in the Belgian Congo staring at the severed hands and feet of his 5-year-old daughter. She was murdered because he failed to meet his quota for the day. Today, the photo serves as a stark reminder of the brutality that came with colonialism. If we held a minute of silence for every victim of the Holocaust, we would be silent for 11.5 years. This is a photo of 2 autistic boys strapped to a radiator in a mental hospital in 1982. While filming the eruption of Mount St. Helens in 1980, photographer Robert Landsberg realized he had no chance of surviving it. So he wound the film back, put his camera in his backpack, and laid on top of it to protect the film for future researchers.
1 Minute Horrors Episode 21, Beheaded from an Emergency Landing. On April 4th, 2019, 35-year-old Ryan Prasad and his grandfather, 72-year-old Deodat Ganga Prasad, were driving back from the grocery store at Palm River, Claremont, Florida. Little did they know that the Guyana-born and raised Deodat would die in an instant. While traveling northbound on US Route 41 in their Chevrolet Silverado, a 2019 Robinson R-44 helicopter was quickly crashing down onto the southbound side of the highway. As seen here from nearby surveillance, it was suffering an engine failure and quickly needed to make an emergency landing. As Ryan and Deodat soon approached the crash site, the copter's main rotor blade rapidly struck a utility pole. A piece of the blade broke off and struck the windshield of their car. Ryan, the driver, only suffered injuries. However, the blade sliced off Deodat's head, killing him instantly. At first, pilot Brian Messick and his passenger were thankful in their survival, only to realize that they unintentionally murdered somebody. Additionally, this helicopter had a similar incident just 5 days earlier, but it was deemed safe to use again.
This is why you should never play hide and seek with Elmo.
So this is about an Elmo hide and seek toy that came out in 2017.
Basically, one player hides Elmo, while the other people use the clue cards to find him.
And while Elmo is hiding, you'll hear him say, "I am here, I am here." But there was one very creepy review about this toy.
This user posted about how a friend gave him this toy as a joke, and because he wasn't going to use it, he put it away in storage to give to one of his younger cousins, and weird things started to happen.
In the middle of the night, he would wake up hearing the voice of this toy say things like, "Come and find me, I am here."
And Elmo would be hiding in a completely random area of the house.
So he obviously immediately got rid of it. But I've also seen a lot of other people saying that there was this glitch where Elmo would literally say, "I am here," after the toy had been turned off. Imagine hearing that coming from your closet.
1 Minute Horrors Episode 22, Our Last Words, Jane Dornacker. On October 26, 1986, 39-year-old Jane Dornacker was traffic reporting for the Joey Reynolds Show on WNBC Radio in New York City. The former musician, actress, and comedian was flying above the Hudson River on an Enstrom F-28 helicopter when it suddenly nosedived. From 75 meters high, it struck the fence of a pier, crashed into the river, and sank underwater. Dornacker and her pilot were trapped for 15 minutes before help arrived. The pilot was severely injured but survived. However, Dornacker unfortunately died on her way to the hospital. Crazy enough, she had a similar incident just several months earlier, making this one more unfortunate. The following is her last words during that traffic report.